All right, we find ourselves with one break tonight. That's going to be some donruss baseball. It is the back half of a case that we started a few days ago. So we're going to go ahead and get a little bit of information up on the screen so that we're all on the same page. At the conclusion of that, we will get started actually ripping. My feedback is automated on eBay. That basically means you never have to wait on me. Anytime you leave positive feedback from me, you are instantly going to get the same in return. So that's kind of a win-win, and no waiting is always a good thing. And of course, the other thing there is to say thank you. Always appreciate you being here, bidding, breaking, chatting, and hanging out with me. We're going to take a look at what's coming up in the days ahead. So tomorrow is a new release day. One product coming out, that's Inception Baseball. We will break that by the full case. On Saturday, we're going to break a half case of Heritage Baseball. That's the back half of a case that we started a couple of nights ago. Sunday night will be an off night. Monday night, we're going to break Inception again. Tuesday night, we're going to break a master case of Contenders Optic football. That might be the last of the Contenders Optic that I have on hand. I wouldn't absolutely swear to it, but I think it might be. Shipping for this product. I'm anticipating it to be out the door and on the way approximately Tuesday. And I know that's a little farther out than I normally project things, but guys, there's just a lot going on with everybody right now all over the country. So I'm hoping maybe I'll be able to get it out faster than that, but because I'm not sure that I can, I'm going to leave it set for Tuesday. As always, that is plus or minus a day. So it could go Monday, could go Wednesday. Best estimate right now is Tuesday. Everybody's going to hit cards in this break, so we don't need to worry about consolation cards. Tons and tons of cards in here. Every team will get a package. So this is an 8-box half case break. It is the back half of a case, as I mentioned earlier, and this is 2020 Donruss Baseball. The auction ended tonight on eBay, which is the same night we're breaking it, Thursday night, the 19th of March. You will find the team names there on the left-hand side. Winning bidders are across from each team on the opposite side. And yeah, I think that's all the info we've got to go over tonight. One more little piece of business here. You're going to notice that your background goes out of focus, and that is intentional. Yes, it is. You're thinking, why am I making the background blurry? Well, it is because we'll be able to see our cards up a lot closer by making that little change. So that's the most important part, not the background, but what we need to see as we're opening it, right? So each one of our boxes is supposed to have 3 autograph or memorabilia cards. It's an either or per box. You'll notice it says on average. Panini loves on average. Every once in a while, they don't give us all the hits we're expecting. We might get only 2 instead of 3. Sometimes we get a little more than we're expecting. That doesn't happen very often. And of course, it doesn't happen very often that we get less either, but it does happen from time to time. What happens more commonly is that sometimes one or more of our hits is replaced by a Panini Rewards Point card. If we have that happen tonight, of course, we'll just simply set those rewards points aside as we come across them. And at the end of the night, we would use random.org to give them out. If we find redemptions in here, they will stay face down up here in our housekeeping area until the end of the break, and then we would flip over at any that we find, one right after the other, and take a look at the Panini website and find out what, if anything, they're numbered to and all that kind of jazz. This is not really a redemption-heavy product. Honestly, I don't know if I've even pulled any redemptions out of here. I'm trying to think if we have or not. So in other words, there's not going to be a ton of them, or there shouldn't be a ton of them, redemptions. There are, however, a ton of inserts. There are almost as many inserts as there are base cards in this set. It's probably very close to 50-50 inserts versus base, because they do so many variations of each card. So we're not going to stop on every single variation or every single insert, as we will be here till the Ice Age, or the next Ice Age, if we were to do that. But what we will do is, as we go through this first time, I'll point out a few of the higher numbered ones and of course the lower numbered ones. And then once we get into our subsequent boxes, I'm not going to read out all of those higher numbered inserts. I mean, you'll see them as they go by, but when they're numbered to $3.99 and $5.99 and $9.99 and all that, and there's a tremendous number of them, yeah, we're not going to necessarily read every single one of those off and that sort of thing. Betsy's here. Hi, Betsy. How are you today? Doing well, I hope. So hollow foils, there's lots of hollow foil inserts in here, guys. Again, if they're not numbered, we're going to just keep on trucking. And even the ones that are numbered, if they're high numbered, I'll probably just try to flip it so that you can see the number, and then we'll move onward. So here's an example of an Elite Series card, and these are numbered to various things. This particular one, I believe, says 349. Those are also often high numbered. They go all the way up to 999, and there are some others that look similar to that may not be that exact card set, but are in that same vein. Hollow foil here, and again, high numbered that we won't be stopping to talk about in future boxes. We're stopping on it right there just because we're in the first box. That one is numbered to 500. And keep in mind on those hollow foil cards, I mean, this one looks okay, but in most breaks we're finding at least probably a half a dozen or more where that hollow foil coating, that foil coating on the card, is starting to peel away from the backing. In some cases it's super obvious when we're going through the break. In other cases I didn't find it until I was sorting the break because they were not quite as obvious, but you can expect that we will see plenty more of that tonight. Unfortunately, that is kind of a frequent occurrence with this hollow foil in this product. It does seem to be a little more common this year than maybe it has been in some past years. So another high numbered one to 400. But just be aware that we are going to see that kind of happening more than we'd like, maybe. Numbered to 75. I've got to get out my right size sleeves here so we can get that in there. That is a Keith Hernandez for the Mets, numbered to 75. So one of our lower numbered ones in comparison, anyway, for sure, to what we've seen up to this point. And I'm trying to think, what else do we usually talk about in this product? Oh yeah, USA Baseball. So USA Baseball, I do not do a separate category for it in this product because we have prospects on one side, but on the other side we have veterans, even though they're in their Team USA uniform. So we set all of those aside as well. At the end of the night, I use random.org, and random will first determine if it goes to the back side of the card, which is our veterans, or if it goes to the player on the front side of the card, which is our prospects. And this one's numbered to 100. And if it were to go, let's say, to the prospects, then I would use random again, and we would give it out to one of the teams participating in this break. If it goes to the veteran player on the back side, of course, that's an easy one. It would just go to that player's current team. So all those USA Baseball cards, those are all handled the same way. This one is numbered to 100. Mazzara for the White Sox. And we haven't seen any of our hits yet, have we, out of this box? Yeah, it's being stingy so far. We've not seen any of our 3 autograph or memorabilia cards yet, so hopefully we're going to come across those pretty soon, or should be anyway. And that one numbered to 191 for the Marlins and Yamamoto. So these, we don't find a ton of these little fathead kind of cards. I don't know. I think we found maybe 1 or 2 in the other half of this case. I can't remember if it was 1 or 2, but something like that. So this particular one goes for the Red Sox. I just set it aside because it's not super, super common. It's not super uncommon either, but anyway. There's a nice rated rookie, Christian Pache for the Braves. It's numbered to 249 down there in that lower left-hand corner. So I guess by now everybody's probably heard that Major League Baseball is talking about possibly not having the draft this year. Now, won't that be a big hot mess of something? Because they didn't say delaying it, they said not having it. And from what I understand, it's because they're concerned about the fact that they won't have the bonus money and the revenue to pay all the things you have to pay to these kids you sign. So this one is numbered to 999. It's a very high numbered card, but it is Bo Bichette for the Blue Jays, so still kind of cool and fun to have. So, yeah, they're talking about potentially not having the draft at all this year. They've also talked about potentially not doing any international signing this year for the same reason, just because they're concerned about not having revenue, because they're not, obviously, the season hasn't started. They've got no ticket revenue or souvenir revenue or all the other things those teams make money on. Numbered to 349, Max Scherzer and the Nationals. I mean, I would rather see them just delay it than to say, yeah, we're not going to have the draft this year. I mean, I can't imagine. What would all those kids do who are in this draft class? I guess they'd wait, but I don't know. I don't like the sound of it. So here's Barrera for the Nationals with an autograph. That is our first hit out of this box. We're supposed to have 3. That's the first one we've seen. And I'm beginning to wonder where our others are. We're pretty far in. Oh, baby, you know I like this one because I am a Cincinnati Reds fan. Aristides Aquino, baby. Woohoo! Numbered to 99 on the Signature Series insert for the Cincinnati Reds. That is the first Aristides Aquino autograph that I've pulled this year, I do believe. And look at that. Turns out to be a Reds kind of box. That, I got to get a different size sleeve for this. Looks like our relic is going to be for Joey Votto and the Reds as well. Well, I thought I got a different size sleeve. There we go. So there's Mr. Joey Votto, and the Reds get 2 of the 3 hits out of here. What are the odds of that? Seems like the Reds are kind of all or nothing, aren't they? In a lot of products, it's boom or bust. You get a ton or you get zip. At least that's been my overall experience with it. Being a Reds fan, you know, if I'm bidding in baseball in somebody else's break, it's 98.9% of the time it's going to be the Cincinnati Reds. And they're a tough pull a lot of times. Probably because, well, we've been basement dwellers for a while. And we haven't had a lot of players. They just kept always plugging in the same guy. You just always get Joey Votto, Joey Votto, Joey Votto, and that was it, you know. So then finally last year, they started working in some Senzel and a few others. And now this year, of course, we've got Aquino, and I'm assuming they'll put in our newly signed Japanese player, and of course all the guys that came to us in free agency and all that. So then we'll probably, hopefully, we'll show up on some checklists for Cincinnati throughout the year. We'll see how it shakes out, I guess. So I had to go on a quest today for my elderly neighbor. I have a neighbor. She lives right next door to me. She's in her mid-90s, and she's not in good health. I mean, she's got congestive heart failure, and she's on oxygen, and she has to use a walker. And I mean, she's had a hard time ever since she fell down a couple years ago. She fell down her stairs and fractured some vertebrae and stuff, and she never quite got going again after she recovered from that. And she does have somebody else that she pays to help take care of her and stuff, and they come and check on her a few times a day, and they take care of her cats and that sort of thing, run her errands, etc. But I do help her out with some stuff still, and so I called to see how she was set for things, and the person who had been taking care of her hadn't gotten her any extra paper towels, toilet paper, Kleenex, nothing. So she was almost out of everything. Well, you guys know what that's like. Every store is out of everything. Everything like that, anyway. So I had to spend a chunk of time today trying to round some up for her, and I couldn't find anything except for something online that's not going to ship for like 5 or 6 more days, but we're going to get her fixed up until that stuff gets here. I was amazed I even found anything online, truthfully. I mean, it is quite crazy out there in terms of trying to find anything that you might need. To $249, this is another Beau Bichette for the Blue Jays. So yeah, once I found it, I called another one of my friends who she lives in a different state than her parents, and her parents are a little older, and I called her and I said, oh man, if either one of your parents, need toilet paper, need paper towels, it's like an off-brand, but go here right now to this website and you can get it. And so she got them hooked up, I think, that way. So it's, it's insane right now. I can't believe, I can believe it, but I also kind of thought that things would be getting restocked faster than they are. But they are not. That stuff will be there 1 second and gone the next. That's to $349, the Polar Bear and the Mets. But one thing we have plenty of, that is baseball cards and football cards. We don't have plenty of basketball cards because those are hard to come by, but plenty of the others. Abraham Toro for the Astros. And that is a signature series hit for Houston, numbered to 99. Next week we have, that's numbered to 100, J.D. Martinez. Unless something changes in the calendar that comes out on Fridays generally, unless something changes on that calendar, it's 500, we should have Gypsy Queen Baseball for Wednesday. And on Friday, it's looking like it's going to be Leaf Metal Draft Football and National Treasures Football and Collegiate Prism Collegiate Draft Picks Football. That looks like all 3 football products are going to come out on Friday, and the singular baseball product coming out on Wednesday. So unless something changes tomorrow, that's what we're going to have on tap for next week. Of course, Gypsy Queen's kind of a long break. Unless we do half cases and just don't ship all the cards, like don't ship the veteran base or something like that. Or we might do a half case and ship everything. I don't know. We'll have to decide between now and tomorrow, I guess, because I'll have to list it tomorrow to end on Friday. So we'll figure that part out. And there is an Aristides Aquino. That is numbered to 999 for the Reds. A cool looking little insert. It's also numbered to 999, Kershaw and the Dodgers as seen on TV. We pull that one pretty often, and it does come in a bunch of different parallels, so they're not all numbered to 999. They all look pretty similar, but some of them are lower numbered. Bobby Bradley, Cleveland Indians, signature series autograph. Is it numbered? No, doesn't appear to be. Okie dokie. What else have we got in here? Another Dominator to 149 on the Aaron Judge. So that's a bit lower than many of the others we've seen in that card set. Jay Allen, you said it's quiet tonight. It is quiet tonight, Jay Allen. Nobody's hanging out in chat, just Betsy and now you. And I know you said you were going to call it an early night tonight. so you can get caught up on your Z's. Yeah, nobody's too chatty tonight. Well, you know what? We've all got nights like that. And especially products like this that are real base card heavy. A lot of people, I think, don't even watch it live. A lot of people wait and go back after the upload's done, and then they just kind of fast forward to the recap at the end. And I will freely admit that I am guilty of doing that. I absolutely do that. If I'm in another break and it's got a lot of base cards, if I don't watch it live, I never have time to go back and watch it later. I will just zip right on to the recap and not worry about the rest of it. And honestly, I've been known to not ever go back and watch them at all and just wait and see what shows up in the mail. But that has to be a breaker that I know really well, breaker that I've, been with before and have a high trust level. I would never do that with somebody I didn't know or had never broken this before, but somebody I know, I'm just like, yeah, I don't have time to watch that. We'll see what shows up in the mail. Though I haven't been in a break in a while of anybody else's. My Steelers, I like our draft class okay this year, but there just wasn't anybody I absolutely thought, oh, I gotta have it or I'm gonna not survive. So I didn't really get too tuned up about that one. And of course the Reds, we've been terrible forever, and they're so hard to pull out of things. I bid on them just sporadically, and more so in Bowman than anything else. So, and basketball's too expensive for me this year. So, can't buy into any basketball breaks. Jay Allen, you said you were just going to check in and now you're going off to bed. All right, my friend. Well, I hope you get some good rest tonight. I'm a little on the tired side myself today, so I totally get it. We will try to bring the mojo there for your Rockies. We'll do our best to see what we can find. Hey, George Brett. Cool. So a George Brett relic, and that is for the Kansas City Royals. I always did like George Brett. Always flip those over to make sure there's nothing stuck to the other side because, well, sometimes there is something stuck to the other side, quite frankly. So that is why we like to flip it over. If there is something there, we want to find it while we're still live rather than later. That would be the general idea. Hey, there's another Cincinnati Red. That is Eugenio Suarez, number 2/999. High numbering. Oh, we got a numbered Diamond Kings hollow foil to 372. Shane Bieber and the Indians. And another USA Baseball. We've got Logan Allen on the front, Walker Buehler on the back. Tell you what, man, my neck is sore today. I was on the computer earlier working on invoicing and answering messages and listing and all that stuff. And my little cat, he's not so little anymore. I still call him little, but he's really not. I guess he's probably a couple years old by now since we found him. And he's gotten quite heavy, I might add. Hey, Jay Allen, are you still here? If you are, this is for you, Sam Hilliard. Even if you're not still here, it's still for you. But I just thought we might send you off to bed with some good thoughts in your head if you were still here. So the Rockies and Jay Allen with Sam Hilliard there. But so while I was working, my little not-so-lightweight cat climbed up onto my shoulders and then decided to kind of sit on my neck. This is numbered to 289, Cal Ripken. That's an example of what I was talking about. The hollow foil starting to peel away from the backing of the card. And you can see it very clearly on that one. Some of the others, I've seen them more severe than that. I've seen them less severe than that, but there are definitely, I'm going to say, more than just the one that I noticed right there. We've been finding quite a few of those. It's numbered to 75, Luke Weaver and the D-backs. So anyway, my little cat, not so little cat, but I still just call him that, sat on my neck, basically. So now it's rather sore. I should have made him get down, I guess. Bobby Witt Jr., Kansas City Royals, numbered to 999, a rated prospect insert. But I don't know. He was being all sweet and trying to be nice. Look at that, Jay Allen. You left like too soon. No, look, come back. Here's another one for you. This is David Dahl for the Colorado Rockies. So now you've had 2 in a row. It's a Rockies kind of box. So see, you can't, maybe you shouldn't leave us yet, man. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you should just stick around. And then I'll say that and you'll stay up and then there'll be nothing else. So no, don't do that. Go ahead and go to sleep, but have visions of Colorado Rockies dancing in your head. How about that? I think that's the way we should approach it. A Dominators insert, 999 Mets and DeGrom. You can sleep double good now. I know. It does always put you in a better mood, doesn't it? It does me. When you hit something, it always puts you in a worse mood when you don't, if you're on a break. Yeah, we've all been there. The nights where it's like, woohoo! And the nights where you're like, oh my God, I could have eaten out on that money. or whatever, you know. We all do it. But, Betsy, who do you have in here tonight? Do you have your White Sox again? Do you have somebody different? Of course, Betsy scored big in the first half of this case with her White Sox. They did really well. Number to 100, Buster Posey and the Giants. First half of this case really was quite good. Acuna and the Braves, 349. And we're not doing too badly here in the back half as well, but first half was, unusually good. I think we had a 1 of 1 and a 2 of 2 in there. And the 2 of 2 was a Ken Griffey Jr. autograph, so, yeah. Oh, look at that. Betsy says, our 2 cases of this are the best she's seen out of at least 15 cases. See? Right? They ship all the good stuff to me. That's right. All the good stuff comes here. Well, you know, I mean, it's always the luck of the draw, and sometimes you draw the hot case, and sometimes you don't, but more often than not, we have some nice things come out of whatever we're opening, but I was particularly happy with the first half of this case. You are with the Dodgers tonight. Ooh. Riding it out with the Dodgers. Okay. Landon, you've got the White Sox tonight. All right, Landon, we need to get the groove on for you then, for Chicago. See, you're probably going, well, dummy, you put the spreadsheet up at the front. Don't you know who has what? Well, to tell you the truth, it's always such a mad dash to get invoicing done and all the spreadsheets done and the break set up. I truly don't pay any attention to who goes where. I'm just cutting and pasting, just going straight down the line from the end of auction notifications, and I very seldom actually look at who has what. I'm just used to Betsy having the White Sox in here because she often does. And occasionally I think the Blue Jays and a few others. And tonight the Dodgers. So, yeah. We got to find some Dodgers tonight. Oh, no, Betsy, we can't say the White Sox are done. We got to have some luck for Landon in here. We got to find some nice White Sox for Landon out of the back half of this. And we'll try and find the Dodgers for you. And of course, Jay Allen's already had a couple of Rockies, so he was able to go to sleep in a good mood. Which is always easier to do than to try to go to sleep when you're in a bad mood, isn't it? Isn't that the worst? Like if you just had a bad day or in a bad mood or whatever, it's like so much harder to go to sleep. I, for instance, was in a quite bad mood last night because my cat, not the little big cat that was sitting on my neck, but the other cat, this Elite Series of Paul Goldschmidt was numbered to $9.99. It was on the side. Has a thing about rubbing her head, that one's numbered to 50, up against the side of my iPad, which of course is what I use for breaks to see the chat and all that kind of stuff. And normally it's no big deal, right? I mean, cats rub their heads on stuff, they're scent marking it or whatever, so it's like, whatever, you know. Occasionally she'll try to kind of like lick it or something, and then I'll just tell her to stop or move her head away or whatever. So yesterday I was reading the news on there, and she started doing that. That's to 371 Gary Carter as a Met. And I didn't think that much about it. And all of a sudden, she bit it on the corner as hard as she could and cracked the screen. Cracked the screen. I'm like, okay, so like I knew cats had a really strong bite because, you know, they bite through bone and stuff when they're killing things out, if they're, you know, roaming wild and killing things rather than eating cat food. It's another Team USA. But yes, bit it hard enough on the corner that she cracked the flippin' Gorilla Glass on the iPad. I mean, can you even? So I was so mad. I'm still mad, honestly, still mad. That iPad's not that old. It's like just maybe a year old, year and a half old, and it was not an inexpensive iPad, right? It's the iPad Pro. And so I thought, okay, well, you know, how much can it be to fix a screen? A couple $100, right? So I look it up online, $600. $600 to replace the screen. Oh, so then I was even madder. That is numbered to $9.99. Aristides, Aquino, and the Reds. And so the result of all of that was, yeah, it's kind of hard to go to sleep because I was so mad about my iPad. But who ever thought a cat could bite the screen, the corner, whatever, so hard as to crack the screen? Vlad Guerrero Jr., Toronto Blue Jays, is our relic. And the thing is, she wasn't even mad. She was purring and happy. She just decided, oh, let's see what this tastes like. Womp. So anyway, that's the 500 Tommy Pham for the Padres. He's a Padre now, and it did say San Diego on the card, or SD, which is San Diego. So, I don't know. Right now, it hasn't spread too much. It's spidered off into a few other places, but largely in places that are towards or in the border and not terribly disruptive. But I suspect it will keep spreading, and if it does, I'll just buy a new one before I will pay them $600 to replace the glass. Which, of course, all the Apple stores are closed anyway, so along with the rest of the world. Everything is closed right now. Michael King and the New York Yankees, a signature series autograph. Betsy feels a Carlton Fisk relic coming. All right, well, that'll be nice if we can find that. You said take it out of the cat treat toy allowance. Well, yeah, their toys are like, what, $1 for a pack of balls or something, so I guess they would all be deceased before they ever got another toy or treat if I tried to do it that way. Numbered to 25, Juan Soto and the Nationals. So no, you know, she didn't know she did something wrong, so not much I can really do about it other than complain to you guys. Hey, I gotta complain to somebody, right? You're thinking, no, not us. Well, Jay Allen had his feeling was spot on tonight about the Rockies. Here comes the third one headed to Colorado. This is German Marquez for the Rockies. So his mojo is flowing tonight about like Betsy's did the other night. You are on fire. Numbered to 10. Got a very low number here. This is an artist proof Goldschmidt, and it is for the Cardinals. All the way down to the low, low number of 10. And this is fairly low numbered as well. Looks like it says to 27 on there. And there's one for your White Sox with Nomar Mazara to 27. For the Chicago White Sox. So maybe we're going to get the juices flowing here for the Sox. Maybe that will kickstart it, right? That's what we would hope. Okay, the rookies, Brandon McKay insert, and that is numbered to 249. And we are right now at our halfway point. 4 boxes down and 4 to go. Of course, one of the other things they've shut down around here, any kind of hair and nail salon, you know, well, I mean, they've shut down just about everything around here. I mean, I can't even think of hardly what else is left that could be shut down. But I was just thinking about this the other day. I got my hair cut just in time. I didn't know it was going to be shut down a mere 12 hours later, but it was. So I don't know how long it's going to be shut down. But I was just thinking about, what about all the people who, let's say you had an appointment the day it actually shut down or the following day. You may have to wait 6 or 8 weeks to get your hair cut. And for me, that would be, my bangs would be down to my chin. That would be crazy. I would be like the Shaggy DA. I would have hair everywhere. I think it's going to be interesting, I guess, to see how things flow here in the next couple of months, if we get things under control, if we get any of our sports back anytime soon, if we're able to find toilet paper and napkins and get our hair cut. Are my priorities off there? Maybe. Yeah, they could be. But notice how I listed get our sports back first. Maybe I should be thinking about other things. I don't know. Jay Allen, you are still here. You said it's about time. You had a feeling in all of these breaks that for the Colorado Rockies. And you're hoping it'll keep rolling and you'll pull a Nolan Arenado next. All right, well, we'll try it. We'll try it. You're definitely on a roll with them so far tonight, that's for sure. I mean, because really to have 3 come out of, well, as many boxes almost. 3 come out, 3 Rockies out of 4 boxes. That's pretty strong. But I think I am just going to flip out if they cancel the draft, though. I don't like that at all. I need them to have the draft. I don't care, man. Figure it out. Like, hold it later in the year. Get the rookies to defer their compensation for a few months. I don't know. Something. But don't cancel the Major League Baseball draft. I mean, that's just, oh. If they want to ditch the international signing period, I can live with that. If you got to get rid of something, okay, get rid of that. Take that international bonus pool money and reallocate it towards our draft picks and bring the draft on. I'm going to be super bummed if baseball decides that they're not having it at all this year. It did sound like, though, from what I had heard about it, the person who was referencing it anyway seemed to think it was a pretty good possibility that that is what's going to happen, that they're going to cancel it. Dozier and the Royals to 100. I think the Reds had somebody, too, that have come down. I think I read the headline. I didn't read the article, but I think I saw a headline go by that said somebody in Red's training camp or something had come down with COVID-19. So, you know, and of course we've had a couple of Yankees minor leaguers, so you know, if it starts going like that, what it's going to be. We may not see baseball for a long time. 500 Rafael Devers in the Red Sox. But yet somehow, even despite the fact that we don't have any real baseball going on at the moment, Chris Sale has to have Tommy John surgery out of kind of nowhere. Joe Adell, rated prospects, numbered to 999. I did not hear the details on it, just that he was going to have Tommy John surgery, so I don't know if he tweaked it or something in spring training or what, because obviously if it had been there before, he would have had it in the off season. If they thought he was going to need it, that's when he would have done it. It's a $9.99 Ryu, and he is still a Dodger here, but there are some Ryu cards in here where he's not a Dodger. He's gone to his new team. I think I have seen, actually, it's more, I think, the base cards that are the new team, perhaps. I don't know. Hopefully we'll see one, and then I'll point it out to you. Graterol, Minnesota Twins Signature Series Autograph. And then I guess the NCAA was talking about maybe allowing some athletes to have an extra year of eligibility, which I thought sounded like a fantastic idea, because they all lost their tournaments or the ability to play in them. And if you're a senior or whatever, that would have been your last hurrah. And now I guess they've come back and said they're only considering it for players who are not in winter sports. So the players who are more in the spring and summer sports, where they're going to miss essentially their whole season, I guess. They're potentially going to give them an extra year of eligibility, but what they're calling winter sports, i.e. football, which is understandable because football did complete its whole season, and basketball, they're saying no, not going to give them any more eligibility, which I think is kind of crummy. I think the basketball players should get it, and any other people who lost their tournaments. Really, so basically only only the football players. Like, sorry, football players, your season was finished. You don't get any extra eligibility, but everybody else should. Doesn't sound like they're going to do that, though. I guess that might jam up some of the member schools, because you've maybe offered kids for the following year and had kids already signed based on who you think's leaving or who's going to be graduating, and then all of a sudden if they came back and said, whoops, no thanks, you're going to keep all these guys an extra year, I guess it would jam up some rosters on certain teams and all, but would be nice though. All right, here come the Mariners. It is Justin Dunn with a Signature Series autograph for the Seattle Mariners. And one card just went over there to visit its neighbor. I'm going to pick it up here in a second. I don't know how it kind of got out of the stack there, but it did. That was to 335, and here's who went off to visit his friend, a Darryl Strawberry base card. He was trying to get up there in that Team USA pile or something. Or what he was trying to do. I did get some of my deliveries early today. Normally we don't get our new releases until actual release day. But we did get... one or two of my places are shipping early because they're concerned that their warehouses will end up shutting down or something will happen that they won't be able to ship things. So I was pleasantly surprised. I didn't get all of it early today, but I did get some of it early. And I have to tell you that my delivery men looked, I got both FedEx and UPS, looked incredibly stressed today. I think where everybody's, well, most of the country is trying to stay home, and then they're ordering online. I think they're just, I mean, my poor FedEx driver, that guy, and it was early in the day, like maybe noon or 1 o'clock. That guy looked like he had already worked about 40 hours straight. So I think it's about to do those poor guys in. The extra volume. See, you said his ankle alert went off. I just looked over there and saw that about Daryl Strawberry. Exactly. He went out of the area and his monitor went off. That's hilarious. Jay Allen says he was looking for some Coke and Doc Gooden is stopping by. Oh, you guys always make me laugh. Yeah, that's about the truth, isn't it? Man. I mean, you gotta love the guys as players, but certainly Daryl Strawberry has had his personal challenges. We'll say it like that. But yeah, that's very funny, though. Very funny. That's the friend he went to visit. Probably the last card of the first stack. Oh, that's pretty good, guys. And gals. I generically call everybody guys, even women. I shouldn't do that, but I do. It's just a habit I picked up, a bad one that I picked up a long time back, and I need to not do that. To 178. But I do have a tendency to do that. People that I speak to often, if they have things they say, it's Polar Bear to 9.99, often I will find that I am picking them up, whether I mean to or not. And I will also at times pick up someone's intonation. So almost pick up their, if they have a really heavy accent or something, sometimes I'll start picking that up if I talk to them a lot. John Smoltz and the Atlanta Braves. And I have to watch with stuff like that because I will grab it and not even know that I've grabbed the habit until it's too late. There's a Nolan Arenado to 349 for the Rockies, although I think Jay Allen meant he wanted one signed. For instance, I have a friend who says like and you know all the time. And often together, like, you know, such and such, like, you know. And I have found myself doing that. And so, if you all catch me doing a bunch of that kind of stuff, like and you knows, you got to call me on the carpet. I cannot get in that habit. I do not want to go down that road. So I'm putting you on notice. If you catch me doing that, now if I just do it every once in a while, once a break or something, I can live with that. But if I start doing it all the time, no. If you were here, I'd say thump me, hit me, throw something at me. But since you're not, all you can do is type it in there. San Diego Padres, number 225, Fernando Tatis Jr. Jay Allen says, no, don't do the like garbage. Well, I know. That's what I'm telling you to make sure that I don't. If you hear me doing it, I find myself, as I said, picking things up. That is an example right there where I just said, as I said, because my mother says that all the time. All the time. And it can be something that she might have told you a month ago. But it will start out with, well, as I said, as I mentioned, I have absolutely picked that up. Absolutely, I own that one. And I have not successfully rid myself of it, but I have unfortunately picked it up. But I'm trying so hard not to pick up the you-knows or the likes. I can't. I just won't. I hope. For the Oakland A's, it is a signature series autograph for Sean Murphy. Betsy, you said, have I seen the retail stuff? More parallels, red, pink, orange, diamond, rapture parallels, pink fireworks. They got carried away, you said. I have not looked at the retail set of this. I don't break a ton of retail stuff. Now, there are times when I do. If a product is super in demand, and sometimes you can't get, most of the time you can't get as much hobby as you want, so you're trying to round up retail or whatever. Or occasionally there are retail only releases that I just happen to really like for whatever reason, and I will break them. But as a general rule, I don't do a whole lot with those. There's a cool little San Diego chicken insert. It's not autographed. We did pull a San Diego chicken relic out of another one, which I think, now that I mention it, I believe it went to Betsy. And I don't know, I just think that little San Diego chicken insert's cute. It wasn't numbered or anything. I thought it might be, but it wasn't. But it is still, it's cute. I like the San Diego chicken. I remember the chicken. I do. That's a while back, but I do remember the chicken. We have a little Baez. Michael Baez for the Padres. All right, so San Diego getting involved here. Yeah, the Crazy Feathers relic, exactly. I mean, it was a cool relic, but it was huge. It was overflowing out of the area of the card that was meant to contain the relic because, well, it's feathers. They don't exactly lay flat in there. It came off of the costume, presumably. But it was kind of fun. I mean, we've pulled the chicken autographs before. Well, obviously, the guy who plays the chicken. We've pulled his autograph out of products before in the past. It's been a few years, but we've definitely pulled some other chicken stuff over the years. I always think it's fun. Some people don't like it. They think it's a wasted hit or whatever, but I think it's fun. And then there's this guy. Now, see, I thought this guy was like some kind of a trainer or ran a camp or did something. But somebody else told me he doesn't do any of that. He's just a comedian. So whatever he is, he goes out by way of random.org because he's not associated with the team. And he is a relic and autograph combo. And everybody will have a shot with him at that card. Not everybody will have a shot with him. I don't know what is. I can't speak to that. That was to $9.99. But everybody will have a shot at getting that card because we'll use random to do it. Numbered 250, Nolan Arenado, Colorado Rockies, with the little Diamond Kings parallel there. And we have got 2 left to go. We are 6 down, 2 remaining in our never-ending quest to break donruss baseball. And I do have more of this, unbelievably. Yes, I do. We're going to have to find time to work it in amongst all the other stuff like Gypsy Queen, which also has a lot of ace. So we'll figure it out somewhere along the way, probably once every, I don't know, maybe once every 10 days or so, we'll try to throw in some donruss. Maybe every 7 to 10 days we'll throw in some donruss until we run out of it or something like that. There's a chicken rookie. I did not know that. You said in the 1982 donruss set, there's a San Diego chicken rookie card. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Jay Allen said, you're really for real going to bed now? Well, why now? We're so close. We're only 2 boxes left now, man. You may as well just stay up for the bitter end now. That's what I'm saying. Betsy, you said how much more? Oh, yeah, there's another case or two down there anyway. Unless I might try and sell some of it out as a sealed case just because we've got Gypsy Queen coming in on top of it. And they both take an incredibly long time to break and sort. So I hate to let all that just pile up and pile up. But we'll probably end up breaking at least one more case, maybe two more cases of it. And we'll just have to work it in somewhere along the way. But we're getting close to the time when I'll start having a lot of football stuff with it as base card heavy. Because once we get into the new football year, which will start with, of course, we've already got draft picks and some things like that coming out, but those don't generally have a ton of base cards. But once we hit score football, yeah, then we start having that problem with football. Because score and legacy and, oh, there's a handful of them that come out really early in the season, right around what would be the normal draft time. And they are always full to the brim of base cards. And then you're rolling through all these baseball products with tons of base. Is that starting to separate? No, not too badly. And yeah, so I tend to push that stuff to the back at a certain point in time. I'm just like, oh, that takes too long. It takes too long to sort. It takes too long to break and ship. You know. And then I like to break the faster things. And then the next thing you know, the base heavy stuff has been sitting there for 6 months and I've got to do something with it. So I'm trying not to do that this time. Trying just to make sure we get it broken at least within the next month or so, whatever we've got left. That one is numbered to 249 with Yordan Alvarez for the Astros. Jay Allen, you want me to send the case of donruss to you as a consolation card? That would be quite a consolation card, wouldn't it? Yeah, that would be quite a consolation card indeed, my friend. I like the product. And I don't even mind the break. The breaking is fine, even though it takes a while. I'm okay with that. It's the sorting that kills me on it. Because it takes way longer than the breaking. And it takes way longer than a normal sort. Because there's so many cards. And also because of the way they're labeled. Like I can't just do it and automatically just go. You have to stop and think about it. You know, Topps cards, there was a Topps cards and other things that just say Mariners, Yankees, whatever. You can just do it without even thinking about it. Just bam, 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 roll through it. But these that say Pitt or they just say NY and you've got to take a second and go, okay, is that Yankees or is that Mets? Or the ones that just say CHI, Shy for Chicago. And then same thing. Is that ever, which one is that? So that part takes so much longer because they can't list the team names. Legally, they can't list the team names. So all they can do, they could list the full city, I would think, but they don't. They abbreviate it, at least on here. We have the St. Louis Cardinals and Ryan Helsley for an autograph. Next up is Forrest Whitley for the Astros, and that one is numbered 299. So a couple of autographs out there right in a row. What did I say? I said something about down there. What did I say, Betsy, about down there? What did I say about down there? I don't know. I said something, but I don't know what it was. That's numbered to 100 for the Tampa Bay Rays. It is hard to imagine what I said. Someone told me the other night, what was I? Was it in this break? This is another Yordan Alvarez to 349. No, I think it was a football break. And I just was looking at a card and I somehow apparently called out an entirely different player or team than was on the card. It was either that I had the player right and the team wrong or the team right and the player wrong. I forget which of the two, but at any rate, sitting right there looking at it, and I just said Angels or some entirely other sport even. And didn't even know I had done it. Isn't that frightening? Numbered to 75, Nick Senzel for my Cincinnati Reds. So, yeah, sometimes I think my mind wanders a little bit, and I guess if I'm thinking about something else, occasionally I say it without even realizing it. I know. That's bad, isn't it? Well, I've been doing this a long time. We did have a white sock left. All right. We're not going to send you home empty-handed. Here is Eloy Jimenez with a relic for the White Sox. So we're getting a little something anyway. Oh, you said might have more donruss down there like I keep cards in the cellar. No, well, I should have said downstairs. They are downstairs. They are not in the cellar now. But they are downstairs from my current location. How about that? All right, that one was number 2999, Trevor Story and the Rockies. Well, at least it's not something worse. When you type that in, I'm thinking, oh boy, that could be any number of things. So yeah, all right. At least it was something fairly innocuous anyway. Oh, Jay Allen, he says it was the Angels. I called a team in football. I said the Los Angeles Angels instead of, I guess, Chargers or Rams. So yeah, that was fun. That was good times, and didn't even know I'd done it. Usually if I say something wrong, I'll realize as I've said it. Might be too late to stop it coming out, but I will know that I've done it and say, oh, I meant whatever the case may be. Nope, kept right on trucking. Did not even realize it till somebody pointed it out to me in chat. All right, Betsy says everybody else has gotten theirs. It's time for her. She's looking for Bellinger or Gavin Lux. All right. I like Gavin Lux. He looked good, didn't he? What little bit we saw of him last year? Yeah, he did. And you know who else I like is Dustin May, your rookie pitcher. I like him too. And then, of course, you added your two extra pieces from the Red Sox there. I don't know how much David Price helps. I don't know. I'm not a huge David Price fan. I don't dislike him, but I don't love him. And I think he's kind of inconsistent these days. Personally, that's just how I feel about it. So maybe you're going to hit him in a period where he's in fuego and he's going to do you a lot of good. I don't know. But Mookie Betts should definitely do you a lot of good. So, as usual, the Dodgers look pretty stacked and loaded. We'll see how they shake out if we can ever actually get the season underway. If I had to go for a team in Heritage, would I take the Blue Jays, the Astros, or the Dodgers? I would have to look at the checklist again, but I would say off the top of my head, I would gravitate towards the Blue Jays because I like their core group of young players. So that would be where I would go because I like Bichette and I like Vlad Guerrero Jr. I mean, he's obviously not a rookie right now. Kevin Biggio, a lot of those young guys. And so my thought would be, well, if I don't hit Bichette, I might hit one of these other young guys that I like. Whereas on the Astros, most of what you're going to find is going to be Yordan Alvarez, Forrest Whitley. I mean, there's a handful you can get in here too, but I just personally prefer watching the Blue Jays young guys play. So I would naturally go for them. I like the Dodgers as well, but for whatever reason, I haven't seen as many Dodgers hits this year, it doesn't seem like. We've seen some, absolutely, but I feel like I haven't seen as many of those as I have of Blue Jays or even really as we have of Astros. So I think I would go Blue Jays if I were looking at Heritage. Because you also have to think about what's likely to come out in a short print, where there are not as many hits in Heritage. You're really trying to make your money there in variations as much as you are in autographs or relics. So you have to keep all of that stuff in mind when evaluating it. So this is our last box. So we are in last box mojo mode right now, hoping that the mojo will be kind to us and deliver us something extraordinarily awesome. We're going to try very hard to make that happen. Aristides Aquino, Cincinnati Reds, numbered to 349. Well, true. Jay Allen says that Heritage really is hit or miss. It's a crapshoot for every team. Yeah, that's probably true. Oh, and since I talked Jay Allen into staying up, then I have to find him at least another Colorado hit. Ooh. All right. That's a lot of pressure. See, that's why I said, no, you should go ahead and go to bed. As soon as I said it, I corrected myself. I said, then you'd stay up and we wouldn't hit another one. You'd come after me. The number to 400, that goes to Minnesota A. The Twins with a hollow foil. A Dominator, Austin Meadows, of course, high numbered 999, also Tampa Bay. And numbered to 500, a Nolan Arenado numbered card for the Rockies. Does that count? Does that help get me out of hot water, Jay Allen? I'm going to try, maybe. Think about it. I don't know. Maybe. You said when you look at the rookies and potential hits, at least if you don't hit, you do get the rookies. True. And depending on the player, sometimes those base cards end up going for a decent amount of money. I mean, when Aaron Judge was really, really hot, he went for just a plain paper base card out of a desirable set. Would go for really pretty high money. A little Dustin May. Well, you already know I like him. So that one is a rated rookie, or I'm sorry, the rookies, not a rated rookie. It just said the rookies, and it is numbered to 999 for the Dodgers. Numbered to 400, Joey Votto starting to peel down there. You can't, sometimes when you look at them head on, they don't show up that much, and then you get the look at them from the end, and all of a sudden you can see exactly where that separation is starting. That's numbered to 100 for the Oakland A's. They need to figure out what's going on with that, because it is worse this year than it's been in past years. It's always a problem in this particular set, it seems, but worse this year. Hey, we got another White Sox. Woohoo! That is Zach Collins. So see, we didn't want to clean out all the White Sox and leave them with nothing tonight, so you got an autograph for Zach Collins. Because that is the worst. When you jump in and you find out in the first half of the case your team pulled some kind of crazy, amazing stuff, and then you're in the back half of the case and your first thought is just, oh my gosh, I've got no hope. So I'm always glad when something comes out. And Betsy, look at this. Your faith is being rewarded, and it's exactly who you ask for. Gavin Lux, a signature series autograph for Betsy and her Dodgers tonight. So, last box mojo delivered for a couple of people in here. I like it. Making the magic happen out of the last box. And our last hit looks like it is headed to the Yankees. Giancarlo Stanton for the New York Yankees, otherwise known as Mike on his rookie cards. That still just blows my mind that when he started playing over here, they told him to use Mike or Michael or whatever it was because no one would like the fact that he had a foreign sounding first name, Giancarlo. So all of his rookie cards say Mike or Michael or whichever they say, Stanton, instead of Giancarlo. Crazy, right? Okay, now we do have some housekeeping to take care of before we recap. So we are going to deal with that here in a hot second. But first things first, which ones do we want to deal with first? Let's deal with these. So these USA baseballs, prospects are on the front, current, active, veteran, whatever you want to call them, players are on the back. You know that's the back because it's got the Panini logo and all the little copyright info and all that. So we are going to head to random.org. It works the same way every time. If I have 10 or more items in a list, I do random one single time. When we have 9 or fewer items in a list, we do random 3 times. The first 2 do not count. Only the third and final random makes the determination. Obviously here we're doing front of card and back of card. So yeah, that means we're going to be doing it 3 times and only the third one will count. Whoops. Alrighty. Ignore the first one. Ignore the second one. If it'll ever go. There goes our second one. Here comes our third and final. 3 times. Our date and time stamp up here gives it to the front or the prospect side of the card. So that leads us to step B, right? Because all those prospects, well, a lot of them, most of them, all of them, aren't signed with anybody yet. Aha, there's the catch, right? So now we're going to go back over here. And this time, we're only going to do random once because we have more than 10 items in our list. We've got all 30 of our teams pasted in here or about to be pasted in here. Scrolling through so you can see everybody, all the teams are in there. We're going to randomize once. Wherever we end up, that team will get that entire stack of USA baseball cards. So good luck, everybody. Ends up going to the Giants. All right. So the Giants, San Francisco Giants, all of these cards that you are seeing right now are going to you by way of random.org. I'm going to go ahead and put these in a team bag so I can write on it. Bear with me for a moment, please. I do not want to have to go back and look this up later, nor do I want to rely on my poor old tired brain to remember it. So this way, through the magic of team bags and Sharpies, I'm just going to mark it on there. How about that, kids? All right, next up, we've got 2 of this guy. And I think we'll do the autograph and relic first. Actually, what we'll do is this. We're going to do random once. Whoever is in the number 1 spot will get the autograph and relic card. Whatever team ends up in the number 2 spot after we randomize will get this one. Okay? Yeah, we'll do it like that. We'll make 2 people happy. 2 teams happy. Well, maybe. You might not be happy. You might be like, yeah, I don't care about that guy. But anyway, that is how we're going to do it. All right, so once again, scrolling through, you can see your team is in there. All 30 teams were pasted in there. Good luck, everyone. After we randomize, team in number 1 spot gets the autograph relic. Team in number 2 spot gets the insert. Good luck. It is going to the Tampa Bay Rays for the autograph relic portion. And then we are going to go to the Padres, right? Does that say Padres for the insert? Yeah. All right. So now I've got, I got to switch you back to me, don't I? Yeah, I can't just leave you there, can I? I mean, I could, but it might not be good. So meanwhile, yeah, I was putting these in top loaders and forgetting that I kind of left you sitting there, but now I've got you back here with me. So Padres, by way of random, obviously did not write on the card, wrote on the top loader. Ditto here, wrote on the top loader, not the card. And that one goes to you by way of random.org. I guess I should demonstrate, right? I guess I should, because if I don't, someone will later come back and say, no, you wrote on the card. Oh, my life is over. You wrote on my card. No, I promise you I didn't. See? Not on the card, right? No. Okay, there you go. Those two are done. These are the things that are lower numbered. We, of course, had an absolute ton of numbered stuff in here. I only set aside the things that I thought were lower numbered. So that's all we're going to recap. To 75, Nick Senzel and the Reds. Numbered to 25, Fernando Tatis Jr. and the Padres. I might not have showed you the back of Senzel. In case I didn't, there it is. Nomar Mazara, that one is numbered to 27. It is a hollow foil for the White Sox. Goldie, Artist Proof, numbered to 10, Goldschmidt and the Cardinals. Mr. Juan Soto to 25 for the Nationals. Luke Weaver, numbered to 75, D-backs. Keith Hernandez for the Mets, numbered to 75. Now, again, there's tons of other numbered stuff, but that is just what I set aside that I thought we would recap because it's a relatively speaking lower numbered stuff. Our relics. Giancarlo Stanton for the Yankees. The White Sox with Eloy Jimenez. John Smoltz for the Atlanta Braves. Vlad Guerrero Jr., Blue Jays, George Brett, Kansas City Royals, and my man Joey Votto for the Cincinnati Reds. I do like Joey. He's getting kind of old, though. He is getting kind of old. His production's been slipping. I don't know about that. Gavin Lux for the Dodgers, Signature Series autograph. Signature Series autograph, Zach Collins for the White Sox. Forrest Whitley, numbered to 99 for the Houston Astros. Ryan Helsley for the St. Louis Cardinals. Michael Baez, San Diego Padres. A Signature Series for the Oakland A's. That is Sean Murphy. And then we have Justin Dunn for the Seattle Mariners. These are all Signature Series. Along with the Minnesota Twins and Graterol. Herman Marquez comes out for the Colorado Rockies. And then you have a little Michael King for the New York Yankees. There's David Dahl, Colorado Rockies. And Sam Hilliard, that is also Colorado Rockies. Followed by the Cleveland Indians and Bobby Bradley. Then you have Abraham Toro for the Astros. Aristides Aquino for the Cincinnati Reds. And Trace Barrera for the Washington Nationals. All right, kids, that is the break. That is the recap. But I will put up spreadsheet information again because somebody might have missed it earlier. Or if you're like I would have done, waited until the whole thing was over and the video was posted and then scroll to the end to find out what you need to know, here it is. That's what I would have done too. Okay, so hoping to have this out the door and on the way approximately Tuesday. That is always plus or minus a day, meaning it could go Monday, it could go Wednesday. My best estimate right now is it will go Tuesday. And, of course, I am always working my little fingers to the bone, getting it out as quickly as I can. We don't need to worry about consolation cards here because there's tons of cards, and every team will get a nice little package of them in the mail. This is what is coming up in the days ahead. So this stuff's already listed on eBay. We're going to be breaking it over the course of the next few days. Tomorrow night, we're going to open Inception Baseball. That is a new release, 2020 Topps Inception Baseball. We will break it by the full case. Saturday night, we're going to break the back half of the Heritage case that we started a few days ago. And Sunday night will be an off night. Monday night, we're going to roll back into Inception for a second case. On Tuesday night, we're going to do Contenders Optic Football by the Master Case, which is a 20-box Master Case. So that's what we are looking like in the days ahead. And I guess that's kind of it for tonight, isn't it? Am I all wrapped up for tonight? Let me check chat. Gil, you came in late, my friend. We're getting ready to roll out of here. But at least, hey, you got to see the recap. Maybe. I don't know what time you typed that in there, but maybe you got to see the recap. That's, as Betsy says, that's the fun part anyway. All right. Well, thanks everyone for being here. Appreciate you very much. Hope you have a great rest of your week, what's left of it. And I will be back at it tomorrow night. So come see me then for Inception Baseball. Or, hey, if you don't like Inception, come see me again soon for something. We break all kinds of stuff. All right. Until next time. Bye now.